Hello everyone, welcome to Jack Talk again. Today, and this is the session 4 for Networking 101. I will go through the IP address in details today. Okay, because just like what I mentioned in the digital system, I said when you say you're going to exchange information with some other side in a network, you need 3 elements, right? The first one, what are you going to transfer or receive, right? Second thing, that's a what. Second thing, where are you going to send to, right? That's a what. That's address. And third element, you do need a control, something similar to the traffic control. Which one go first and then wait for the second one done and then go to the third one, something like that, right? Set the address, okay? So without one of them, it make no sense for network sharing, transfer data back and forth. Okay, data is quite simple. I explained in very details way back to the digital binary system how computers represent number, text, and the picture, whatever, everything in binary numbers. Okay, now today I'm going to take a very close look at address. Still remember the last session of the digital system, I introduced 2 addresses for all networking items or device, network capable devices. All network capable, network ready device will have 2 addresses. Number 1 is MAC. Okay, MAC, media control, media access control. Media access control. That's an identification of that device. That number mostly in the hexadecimal number format. Okay, burn into the device inside permanently. So whenever the device, not a network card, your notebook computer, your network ready, and printer, your cell phone, all those things has their own unique MAC number. That's used as an ID to make sure, okay, the provider, whatever, to recognize, to accept your something like the subscription, your status, something, and before they communicate. But after they establish your ID, you are acceptable to communicate with me, and then the other side, like the internet or whatever items in the network, we're going to exchange data with your device. Now this time, they don't use MAC. They use a so-called IP address. IP address. What's IP? Straightforward. Internet protocol. Internet protocol. Protocol is some kind of agreement. Okay, all different sides agree with that guideline or rule or regulation, something like that, before we can communicate, right? That makes sense. Now, IP address. But IP address, just like I explained, I believe the last 2 sessions, we have what? We have router. If you subscribe with an internet service provider, they will send you a unique, the so-called global or public IP address. That's unique in the world. Okay? But you do have more than one network capable device, right? You have cell phone, you have a network ready and a printer, you have a tablet, you have desktop computer. You may have at least several network nodes, NODE, or network devices. So each item, do need IP address to be assigned. So who's going to assign the address to all those devices? Your router. Okay? Because router is for routing according to address. Okay? And routable device can communicate with some other device in the network. So that's why the item is named as router. Okay? So, again, outside from here is a public or global IP address. And then getting into your router, not bypass anyway, go through your modem and then to the router. And router has a system, has a software system. It's called DHCP. What is a DHCP? Stands for Dynamic Host Control Protocol. Because of this feature, the router have two sides. One side accept your public or global IP address. Turn around, the other side, they issue many IP addresses. Okay, randomly. Okay, doesn't have to, and same IP address for each item. Every time you start your router, they may randomly issue, as long as all items, all network device has their own IP address. We call it local IP address. Okay, instead of the public or global. That kind of IP addressing, the default format is 192.168.something.something. I mentioned that the third number is for your router number. You may have more than one router. Okay? In the future, I'm going to give you some idea how come we could have more than one router. Okay? So there's a DHCP assign the address like that, and the last number for all individual devices. For instance, maybe your desktop computer is a 192.168.1, that's the router number, .101. Sorry, not 101, it's 101 in binary system. Okay, now that's your desktop. Your cell phone may be 192.168.1 because the same router. Then 108, whatever. That's a random number. It doesn't have to follow a number order. That's what it is. Okay? Now, I stop here. In the future, I'll give you more details on that. Okay? Thank you.